starts right now.
On the Nightbeat, shots fired during a suicide in progress. A Converse woman now dead. And the police chief there says that his officers did the right thing. Everything we know about this incident that has the full attention of the Texas Rangers tonight.
Plus, texters beware. There are some bank scams that could cost you more than just time. But first, back to the death of that Converse woman. It is now the center of a Texas Rangers investigation. Converse police shot and killed her roughly 5 hours ago.
Now, investigators say that this started as a suicide in progress when someone called police for help. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas explains why the police chief says that his officers opened fire.
A large police presence caught neighbors along Autumn Run Lane off guard Tuesday afternoon as Converse officers arrived with guns drawn.
Cop pulled up, jumped out, pistol in hand. I thought he was about to pull me over. He ran past me. I seen him ducking behind a Jeep across the street. I seen him was getting a little crazy, so yeah, I got up out of there.
Converse Police Chief Bobby Lane says officers responding to a suicide in progress found a woman sitting in her garage with a gun pointed at herself. After 40 minutes of negotiating, the chief says the woman put the gun down and officers tried using non-lethal ammunition.
We have what we call as a 40 mic, and it's basically a different type of round that it just basically incapacitates the person for a few minutes. It's ineffective, so the lady, the female, she pointed the gun at the officers and the officers used the force that was necessary.
That woman died. Chief Lane tells us she did not shoot at officers, but Converse police have not said how many shots officers fired at her. No one else was hurt, but neighbors say the situation is unsettling.
It's not scary because it's not like somebody was shooting at somebody, but it's scary the thought of, what's wrong with people, the mentality of people. And, it's kind of scary that it hit so close to home.
Now, Converse police have not identified that woman who died or the 4 officers involved. They also not said if all 4 of those officers used their weapon, but the police chief did confirm to us that all 4 of those officers will be on administrative leave with pay throughout the investigation. At Converse PD, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. Now, Converse police say that the same negotiator who responded to this call also worked a similar but unrelated call earlier in the day and was able to stop that person from harming themselves.
Now, if you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, you can dial 988. It's that easy. 988 for help 24/7 anywhere in the U.S. It's free and confidential. A federal judge is calling out the city of San Marcos years after an incident happened in the last presidential election. A lawsuit against the city alleges back in 2020, a Joe Biden campaign bus surrounded by 40 vehicles driven by Trump supporters on I-35. The so-called Trump train made national news after Biden staffers said they were harassed and that San Marcos law enforcement didn't do enough to help them. Those staffers sued that city in 2021. And earlier this year, those same staffers say San Marcos didn't keep good track of the records of the incident. Now a federal judge weighing in and agreeing with those staffers and said the city's conduct was, quote, out of line, end quote. Both sides have until Friday to reach an agreement on attorney's fees.
Now, thousands of members of the U.S. Air Force are going to have to wait a lot longer than Friday to move or get bonuses. Today, the U.S. Air Force announced that it's suspending personnel moves and bonuses through the end of September. Now, this is all about money. The U.S. Air Force is facing a funding shortfall because of what it calls higher than expected costs. It says that it needs to do this now to, quote, avoid exhausting funds dedicated to personnel. And by the way, funding shortfalls really aren't rare in the military, but this in particular is unique to the Air Force because usually when that branch has a shortfall, it doesn't affect military members directly.
Stephen Clare, the man accused of killing one of his daughters and attacking another and his wife, has officially been indicted. A Bexar County grand jury indicting him on 3 charges: capital murder of a child under 10, attempted capital murder of a child under 10, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Investigators say Clare stabbed his daughters, ages 2 and 11 months, then shot his ex-wife Mariah several times inside her Alamo Heights home back in April. The youngest baby girl did not survive her injuries. The death penalty is possible in this case, but the district attorney's office says it's too early to tell if they will seek it. Clare's bond revoked. He awaits his next court appearance in the Bexar County Jail.
An $18 billion deal to cut your property taxes is now moving closer to the governor's desk. The Texas Tribune is reporting tonight that a Texas House panel has advanced the 3 bills that make up that proposal. One of those bills focuses on the property tax cuts. Another is a franchise tax relief bill. And the third is a constitutional amendment that would allow the legislature to make those tax cuts. A Senate committee is expected to take up that package tomorrow, and that could set up lawmakers to vote on those bills by the end of the week. So how will this proposal affect your bottom line? That's what you want to know, right? Well, take a deeper dive into the property tax plans with KSAT Explains. It's right now on KSAT.com.
It's a problem a lot of us are having, a lack of funding, limiting accessible and affordable childcare. It's especially acute for military service members, it seems. A recent Military Family Advisory Network poll says nearly 75% of military families having a hard time finding affordable child care. Local lawmakers want to help, they say, by helping military families use money from the Department of Defense to pay for child care. Congressman Greg Casar wants to change the writing of the National Defense Authorization Act to expand child care facilities on military bases and provide more help for families.
We are pushing to make sure that the amendment gets a hearing and a vote on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives.
If approved, the change would give the Department of Defense the ability to secure funds from military programs that aren't needed and shift that to child care programs for military families. A vote on that amendment expected to happen this week.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration wants to change a different federal program that gives states money to help low-income families pay for child care. The administration says that way too many of those families are spending about a third of their incomes on child care when they should be spending less than 10%. If this is implemented, the Biden administration believes the program is going to help almost 1 million American families.
More people suffering from tick-borne illnesses. While that's rare here in Texas, doctors still getting the word out because so many people are traveling this summer.
Yeah, a doctor at University Hospital says that we should check the CDC's website to see if ticks are bad wherever you're going. We should also use bug spray and wear long clothes outside, like something with long sleeves. We spoke with a local woman who got Lyme disease from a tick bite last year. Her name's Allie Geckel, and she says that she's still dealing with symptoms, so she wants people to be careful when they travel.
Can't let that stop me or be a victim in that. It's just changed a lot of the things for me.
People with Lyme disease deal with symptoms like fever, fatigue. They can even see bullseye-shaped rashes on the skin.
Another steamy day today, 103. The high temperature officially in San Antonio made it up to 107 in Del Rio and Cotulla Carrizo Springs, highs of 108. But that was just part of the story. The high humidity giving us oppressive heat index values, and we're going to see more of it. We'll get into how hot it's going to be, how hot it's going to feel, which counties are under burn bans, and when you may notice that Saharan dust back in the air in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Time now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. The Atlanta, Georgia grand jury handling potential indictments against former President Trump has been selected. The former president accused of trying to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. A special grand jury already established the charging recommendations. Now the new grand jury will use that to decide whether Trump should be indicted. The district attorney in charge of the investigation expects a decision sometime next month. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky blasting NATO after learning the alliance still hasn't set a timetable for the war-stricken country's membership. NATO leaders said today at its annual summit that Ukraine can join, quote, when allies agree and conditions are met, end quote. Several NATO member countries are aiding Ukraine's war effort against Russia, but there's not a consensus among the 31 countries to admit them just yet. Bank of America accused of double dipping on fees, withholding credit card rewards, and opening fake accounts. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau ordered the company to pay more than $100 million to customers and $90 million in penalties. Some of the allegations reminiscent of the Wells Fargo bank scandal. Bank of America did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Now, we want you to stick around. Still ahead on the Night Beat, protecting your pockets. Scammers pretending to be banks, and they're texting people to get into their accounts. So here's the question. What do you do if that happens to you?
Plus, Amazon Prime Day not over yet. What consumer experts are saying about the deals we're seeing and what to do if you miss out.
Your passwords, your identity, and your money, all potential targets for thieves turning to text messages to find their next victim. Sure, you could just delete the text, but as the Night Team's Patty Santos explains, there's more that you can do to stop those would-be scammers.
Many of us can relate. The scam texts that just won't stop.
I got one earlier today. It's just like a random text from like a random phone number.
The bogus texts appear to be from banks, delivery companies, even friends, all in an attempt to get money from an unsuspecting target.
It happened to my mom. She was texting them, and she even called me, and she was like, Samantha, who is this number? And she's like, do you know this number? Is this one of like your friends?
The biggest thing that I always like to tell people is RBFCU or any other trusted source will not reach out to you to get personal information. We have all of that.
Ryan Mustard-Tiger is the vice president of fraud management at Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union. His team has tracked a 230% increase in phishing texts in the last 2 months.
Typically, it will mirror itself to look like it's coming from your financial institution.
The goal, he says, is to get victims to click the link, giving thieves a chance to steal credentials and passwords. So before you hit delete on that message, consider reporting it to your bank's fraud department.
So we have something that works in the background to take that link and then, find it and get it taken down so nobody else becomes a victim of that.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
So here's something else. You can also report any unsolicited text seeking seeking personal information to the Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, on its website. You could also text them. You see them right there, 7726. We also have more tips on our KSAT community page right now on KSAT.com.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration investigating complaints that the doors on some Ford Escapes can open while being driven. It's being reported in models made in 2020 and 2021. The agency says they've seen 118 complaints of a bracket failure in doors, which over time would make it easier for the doors to not fully latch. Ford says it's working with the agency in the investigation. The agency says a recall will be issued if they find the problem creates a risk to highway safety.
On a lighter note now, if you didn't get a chance at Prime Day, there's still time. The summer internet shopping spree is going to end tomorrow. Perfect timing if you're already doing some back-to-school shopping or if you're just looking for a great deal on some big brands. Here's the thing, though. You need to be an Amazon Prime member in order to get in on those discounts. And once again, Amazon's own products are on deep discount.
I think some of the smartest buys are going to be Amazon's own products. Think Kindles, Fire TVs, Echo devices. Think about some things you need to stock up on, to replace, and then start looking rather than jumping into these sales and letting the retailers tell you about all the things you didn't even know you needed.
Like school supplies? Yeah, those are actually cheaper on Amazon Prime right now. But if you can't shop today or tomorrow, you're going to have another opportunity to save on back-to-school shopping. We break down what you won't have to pay taxes on during next month's tax-free weekend. You see it right there, August 11th, 12th, and 13th. Just visit our website, ksat.com, for more information.
All right, let's talk the weather situation right now, and it is warm, extreme heat out there. A lot of heat advisories, whether it's CPS Energy or Bexar County.
Yeah, and heat advisories from the National Weather Service. It's just a trend, something to get used to, anticipate it. Heat index values very high again today, and our triple-digit temperatures, they're going to continue with those very high heat indices. Take a look at our temperature trend. Today we were 103. We'll be right near there, within a degree, the rest of this week and all the way into next week, basically the foreseeable future. And we'll add on to that when it comes to the heat index. More on that in a moment. I want to really quickly touch on outdoor burn bans. Now, we did have a very good spring when it came to rainfall, but it's been drying up, and it was not as beneficial of a spring for Kerr, Kendall, Comal counties, and even Bandera County. But that's where we do have burn bans in the Hill Country. Kerr, Kendall, Comal, and even Kinney, Maverick, and Dimmitt counties. And meteorologist Sarah Spivey contacted every county on this map, even the ones not included, to verify whether or not there's a burn ban in place. So that is the latest, most up-to-date burn ban map for our area. We're starting to dry out, unfortunately. You look at the rainfall potential over the next 7 days, and true to July form, It's not here in South and Central Texas. Parts of North Texas, the Panhandle, and even into East Texas have decent potential over the next 7 days. It's just not around here. Our weather pattern right now, not helping us out. Now, last night in Oklahoma and parts of North Texas, little MCV developed, mesoscale convective vortex here. You'll see that counterclockwise spin there. That developed overnight last night, dumped some good heavy rainfall, Oklahoma and North Texas, but even some of these straggler showers on the backside just couldn't make it here, couldn't sustain their way here, despite the steering flow pushing them our way. They just can't make it. They can't survive the trip. And this is actually a picture that just came in on our KSAT Connect, and this is in Castroville, the Medina River drying up, more like the trickle right now, and a few puddles, at least in this location. Let's talk temperatures. 103 are high today. The record, 107, that was actually set last year. The average high, 94. Obviously, we'll be well above average for the foreseeable future. 17 100-degree days so far this year. By this time last year, we had 33. So clearly, we're tallying them up, but it's nothing like what we had this time last year, which, by the way, was the hottest summer on record. Not the most 100-degree days, but last summer was the hottest on record. Okay, we talked about our high temperatures today, but what about the feels like? You factor in the really high humidity. Our peak heat index in San Antonio was 112, felt like 115. Gonzales, Pleasanton, and Hondo, and briefly today, Cotulla had a heat index up to 119. It's going to be very similar for the days ahead. I want to talk about the Saharan dust. There really isn't much overhead at the moment. It's mainly over Florida and then farther east over the Atlantic, but it is going to continue to track westward. In turn, we'll have a little glimpse of it along the Gulf Coast on Friday. This weekend, very light amounts periodically, but I do think you may start to notice it by next Monday, Tuesday. You could actually notice a faint haze in the sky, especially at sunrise and sunset. 79 in the morning, by noon, 93, but feeling like 106. 102 the high, feeling like 110 tomorrow afternoon. Those are the air temperatures in the low 100s, but keep in mind, those heat indices will be back up to 110 and even a little higher for some folks.
All right, Adam, thank you.
All right, the Summer League Spurs are back in action. We're going to have that, plus a local Judson legend, also played for the Aggies, has a football camp. Larry has sports after the break.
He's like a unicorn, and you feel like he was made in a lab somewhere, because I mean it's just something like no one's ever seen, and I'm just kind of super excited to kind of see his progression and how he does for the Spurs.
Judson basketball coach Noe Cantu is a fan of Victor Wembanyama and big board sports. So the Spurs are playing the Wizards in Las Vegas right now, about a 9:40 tip time, and no Wemby for the Spurs because he's done in Las Vegas. San Antonio gets on the board first. Dom Barlow, crossover, then jumper from near the elbow, and it's 2-0 Spurs. A little bit later, CD Sissoko drives the lane, then goes behind the back to Barlow for another bucket time this game at 5. You know, when CD is on the court, you have to be ready because he's like Manu when it comes to passing the ball. Keep your head on a swivel. Spurs led 20-19 after the first quarter, and at last check, the Spurs were leading the Wizards 31-30 in the second quarter. We'll have more tomorrow on the news at 5. Now, led by Spurs rookie and overall #1 draft pick Victor Wembanyama, the first weekend of the Las Vegas Summer League was awesome. The Spurs played Friday and Sunday in front of jam-packed crowds at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Sunday, Wemby was more like that teenager we've seen from his French League highlights, with 27 points and 12 rebounds and 3 block shots. So, per ESPN PR and NBA PR, the NBA Summer League opening weekend is now the most watched ever on ESPN networks, with an average of 456,000 viewers. And it's the most viewed NBA Summer League opening weekend ever on NBA Social and the NBA app, with 300 million video views. In men's college basketball, it's being reported that Cal and Ole Miss will play on December 16th right here in San Antonio. They will join Tennessee and NC State in the Alamo City as part of the 2023 Hall of Fame series. The latter was previously announced, and Baylor will hoop it up with Miami of Florida in women's action. Before Judson High School held a meet and greet tonight, we got to hang and chat with two of the newest members of the coaching staff, boys head basketball coach Noe Cantu and baseball coach Fernando Luna. Rockets athletic coordinator and head football coach Mark Soto gave them a little tour while we were there. Noe is 35 years old with 12 years coaching experience, 6 as a head coach, and Luna is entering his 24th year as a teacher coach.
Well, you grow up in San Antonio, you know about Judson at an early age, and the excellence, not only just the state titles and the wins, it's just everything. And so to have the opportunity to come here, when I had the conversation, talked about it with my wife, and it was one of those things that was real easy to decide to come and do this.
Yeah, like I said, everybody knows Judson around the city and around the state. They've had a lot of success, like I said, in almost every sport. There's been great players, great coaches that have been here. So, having the opportunity to come to a school like Judson, it's really kind of a dream come true, and, I'm excited to get started.
Coach Cantu added it was hard to leave Cole and that Judson was the only school that could pull him away from the Cougars. In Major League Baseball, the All-Star game between the National League and American League at last check. The National League was leading the AL 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth. Local baseball player Josh Young went 0 for 2. DeMarvin Leal is hosting a football camp after the break.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Here's DeMarvin Leal from late April 2022 on the day that he was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, a moment in time that changed his life forever, and he's loving it. Leal went to Judson High School, followed by a 3-year stint at Texas A&M, and now he's getting ready for his second season in the NFL with the Steelers. Number 98 is back in town to give back by holding a football camp on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Judson High School.
Just wanted to be able to spend my first official off season giving back to my community, and it was very important to be at high school, being an alumni from there, and then just giving back to the kids. Helping me coach, I'll have Spencer from Wagner, and then I'll have some of the coaches out there, and then got a couple friends coming back, and some of those are surprises. So we'll see who all shows back up.
How cool is this for you to come back as a current NFL player and hold a camp like this?
It's amazing. It's definitely is a blessing, and when you are in high school, middle school, just growing up here in San Antonio, you dream of things like this, coming back when you're older and you're met your goals, and you're still trying to reach your goals, and you're just trying to help the younger players coming up, reach theirs.
Marv said the camp is sold out, but you can still show up and watch it. I really want to know those special coaches that he didn't tell us about.
The surprises.
The surprises, indeed.
Yeah.
That's it for the kids. All right, we'll
Thanks,
be right
Larry.
back.
$725 million up for grabs in the next Powerball jackpot. That after a winner didn't claim the latest winning numbers.
Okay, so the next drawing is tomorrow night at 10, but you have until 9 p.m. to buy your tickets. Good luck.
$725 million.
Oh, man, I could only dream.
And that's what it is, a pipe dream. Sorry to be so honest, but
no, I know, I get it.
It's statistically speaking.
Look at this.
I know, isn't that great? That's Hondo, just chilling, literally.
So they put ice on the ground and Hondo just sploots.
Sploots on the ice. That's the perfect sploot you can get, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And I think he's enjoying it and probably eating some of the ice as well, as he should. Now, looking at temperatures ahead, it's more of the same. High temperatures, about 102 to 103. But when you factor in the humidity, it looks like the heat index, the feels like, could get as high as 110, maybe even a little bit higher in the coming days. It is another CPS peak energy demand day tomorrow, a yellow day. Conserve energy from 3 to 8 p.m. It's best if you have an electric vehicle, charge it at night after 10 p.m. to avoid stressing the grid even more. And it's a good excuse to not do your laundry between 3 and 8 p.m. There you go.
Saying this to avoid chores, yeah. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.